Run Graph Master extension. We're adding a new graph type called line graph, which includes 18 visual presets. Let's open the one you like preset and take a look at the main settings. In this dialog, you can set the graph name, number of graphs, data count, and resolution. To start, we'll just enter a name and set graph count to 1. We've created a customized setup for a single line graph. Open its local settings and enter the required data. Each chart can contain up to 12 data points. Great, we've got one spline. You can adjust the total amount of data used in the global settings. By changing this parameter, you define how much local data will be applied. If you want to create a straight line graph without smoothing, simply change the corresponding setting. The key feature of this chart type is the ability to stack multiple graphs. Just duplicate the required layer, a new chart with the same settings will be created. A legend for the graph will also be generated automatically. You can position it using the null object. You can also change the position of the points in the legend. Great. Let's now change the values on the second chart. Now we have two charts. You can change their colors to distinguish them visually. The point color in the legend will update automatically. In Graph Master v3.0, we removed the restriction on adding new layers to the setup. Now you can add as many layers as needed. The only limitation is that you cannot place your layers between graph size and global control. Let's add another graph for clarity and modify its data. If the graph becomes difficult to read, you can tweak some settings. You can completely change the visual style of the graph to match your design. If you need to update the bottom text of the graph, simply enter the values separated by commas in a special text layer. The values will automatically be assigned one by one. Now, let's look at an interesting legend mode. In this mode, the text appears at the last point of the graph. You can also adjust its position easily via the local settings. Let's resize the entire graph to make sure everything fits within the frame. You can change the value font through Essential Graph or the Properties window in newer versions of After Effects. Other text elements for this graph type can be edited directly in the same composition. You can also customize the appearance of the legend points. Let's fill them with the same color. That looks much better. Of course, you can also adjust the graph shading through various settings. Alternatively, you can apply a style from the preset library. Let's load the shaded style and customize it to our needs. For many graphs, it's best not to use a fill or to make it semi-transparent. As you can see, all data remains intact, and you can restyle the graph at any time. You can also add any characters before or after the values. Let's make a few final adjustments for a better visual balance. Perfect. Now we have a clean and professional looking chart. Thanks for watching.